Two of the strongest movie-exclusive characters in Dragon Ball Z. One's a fusion created to end chaos in seconds, and the other, a berserker so powerful he nearly destroyed a galaxy just by screaming. We've seen Gogeta absolutely erase Janemba, a reality-warping demon who embarrassed both Goku and Vegeta. But Broly? He took on every single Z fighter, tanked their best shots, and kept getting stronger while he was hit. So who actually wins if these two titans clash? Is Gogeta's insane fusion amp and precise technique enough to overwhelm Broly's limitless rage and ever-evolving power? Or does the legendary Super Saiyan and eventually overpower even fusion itself? In this video, we're discussing their feats, scaling, timelines, statements, and more to figure out who would really come out on top in this ultimate DBZ movie battle. If you enjoy conversations like this and want to take part in deeper Dragon Ball discussions, I highly encourage you to join the Dragon Ball HQ Discord server, link below in the description. We'll be diving into this topic and more over there. Now, without further delay, let's begin. Super Saiyan Gogeta presents the peak of fusion-based power in the Z-era films and is frequently compared to Broly in power scaling debates. As the fusion of Goku and Vegeta, Gogeta stands as the ultimate trump card, the definitive embodiment of heroism facing off against unstoppable evil. His battles often serve as the culmination of power in Dragon Ball movies, particularly when juxtaposed against the fight foes like Janemba, setting the stage for one of the most iconic showdowns in the franchise. But before diving into Gogeta's overwhelming might, it's important to consider those he surpasses, namely Janemba. In his initial childlike form, Janemba is more than just a powerful fighter. His very presence doesn't just warp space, it corrupts the fabric of the afterlife. He transforms what should be a stable cosmic plane into a realm of crystalline chaos, unraveling the balance between life and death. This is no minor feat. According to Daizenshuu and Chozenshuu, the afterlife in Dragon Ball is just as expansive as the living universe. In fact, heaven alone is said to rival the mortal realm in scale. So when Janemba's existence distorts such a massive domain, it places him on a level far beyond typical villains. He isn't just warping a battlefield, he's destabilizing a cosmic plane of reality. Into this chaos steps Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and his arrival marks one of the most visually and conceptually powerful transformations in the series. Unlike prior statements that shook mountains or caused local earthquakes, Goku Super Saiyan 3 power up here shakes the entire afterlife, a universal realm purely from energy output. That's a cosmic scale ripple effect, achieved by sheer power alone. And yet, even with that display, Goku is no match. After Janemba evolves into Super Janemba, he's identified by Toei as the most powerful villain in the Z-era movie continuity. While some confusion has circulated regarding whether later villains like Hirudegan were stronger, this largely stems from a misinterpretation of comments made by screenwriter Koyama. Though he once suggested each movie villain was intended to outclass the last, he later contradicted that claim by implying Broly might be the strongest instead, which casts doubt on particular strict progression of power. What remains consistent, however, is Toei's promotional stance. Super Janemba is the top-tier antagonist among the Z films, and it's this overwhelming threat that compels Goku and Vegeta to use fusion. When Gogeta finally appears, his arrival alone radiates enough energy across the spiritual dimension. Unlike Goku's prior display, Gogeta doesn't even need to charge up. His presence alone generates a wave of energy that seems to pulse across the realms. He doesn't just enter the battlefield, he transforms it by simply being there. Against this backdrop, Super Janemba, who had effortlessly overwhelmed Super Saiyan 3 Goku, is casually destroyed. Gogeta doesn't just outfight him, he annihilates him. There's no drawn-out struggle or close call. It's a complete dismantling. What's more, Gogeta's finishing move, the Stardust Breaker, does more than deal damage. It targets Janemba's corrupted spirit, bypassing conventional durability and neutralizing his essence at a metaphysical level. It's not just a powerful attack, it's a conceptual counter to Janemba's very being, a purification technique layered over immense raw strength. For fans interested in the numbers, Toei has described Gogeta as being dozens of times stronger than Goku. That could range from a conservative 24 times to 69 times. Applying the standard Super Saiyan 1 multiplier, Gogeta's strength would land somewhere between 1200 to 48 times base Goku. Compared to Super Saiyan 3 Goku, which is a 400 times boost, Gogeta outpaces him in a factor of 3 to 12, depending on how you interpret the scale. So let's be clear, this is a fusion character who surpasses someone capable of shaking the cosmic afterlife, obliterating an entity who was automatically warping universal law and purified a corrupt being that couldn't be harmed through traditional means. Now, some argue that Afterlife in Fusion Reborn was simply a galaxy or a smaller realm, but this contradicts official material. From guidebooks, maps, and character dialogue, all canon lore including Daizenshuu and Chozenshuu and statements from creators support the interpretation that the afterlife is universal in scale. Now, when it comes to Broly, he's a frequent topic in power scaling debates, and for good reason. I've covered him much extensively on the channel, but I'll do so also again here. He stands as a unique anomaly within the Dragon Ball movie universe, evolving with every appearance and consistently pushing beyond limits that most characters never even approach. For this breakdown, rather than focusing on just one iteration of Broly, we'll trace his growth across all three of his original film appearances, analyzing how his power compounds every entry. In his debut, Broly is shown wreaking havoc across the South Quadrant of the universe, and notably, this is while he's still unrestrained and mentally unstable. Even in this limited state, the destruction he causes is immense. A common misconception is that the South Quadrant refers to a single galaxy. In reality, according to Dragon Ball cosmology and official sources like Daizenshuu 4 and Chozenshuu 4, each of the universe's 4 quadrants contains numerous galaxies, not just one. These materials describe the universe as infinitely populated with stars, galaxies, and nebulas. The visual damage we see, seemingly spanning a fourth of the South Quadrant, suggests that Broly, even in his unstable state, is capable of multi-galactic destruction, placing him far beyond typical solar system level or galaxies at this tier. But that's just the starting point. Across various Dragon Ball media, from guidebooks to interviews to promotional material, there's a reoccurring statement: Broly, if left unchecked, would eventually destroy the universe. I've seen a lot that fans try to downplay Broly's threat level by saying in movie 8, Goku in Super Saiyan is able to land a final blow from just some help from allies. However, this overlooks a crucial detail, which is in the movie 8 pamphlet, which confirms that Goku's final Miracle Punch received a 1000 times power boost, far beyond standard Super Saiyan transformations, and even exceeding the Super Saiyan 3 multiplier. In Broly's second coming, things escalate even further. Broly returns stronger, completely unrestrained, and effortlessly overpowers Goten, Trunks, Videl, and even Gohan. This version of Gohan, unlike his mainline Buu Saga counterpart who grew rusty during peacetime, appears to have continued training for 7 years, making him an alternate timeline version of Ultimate Gohan. And yet, Broly overwhelms him. Gohan struggles to stay in the fight and only pushes back after receiving help. The final blow comes from a father-son Kamehameha, with Goku's appearance playing a pivotal role, possibly even as a physical assist, though the moment remains ambiguous. Either way, it took a fusion of effort from multiple Z fighters, including Goku, to take Broly down. This cements his status as someone strong enough to challenge characters even on par with or above Super Saiyan 3 Goku. While Bio Broly is often overlooked due to the campier presentation, it still matters in the broader power conservation. Despite the odd setting, Bio Broly is described in supplemental material as genetically enhanced, making him technically Broly's most advanced form, at least before he destabilizes. His defeat via salt water and culture fluid doesn't negate the fact that his raw strength had increased. Even behind the scenes, Broly was always held in high regard. Koyama, the screenwriter behind many Dragon Ball Z films, consistently referred to Broly as the most dangerous villain he'd ever written. In fact, Broly's popularity and potential were so strong that he was brought back not once, not twice, but 3 times. Even prior to the release of Battle of Gods, Koyama maintained that Broly was the most powerful movie villain, a title only passed on to Beerus once he was introduced. So whether we're evaluating Broly based on destructive output, combat instincts, raw ability, or his scaling across multiple films, he consistently ranks as one of the most fearsome characters in the Dragon Ball universe. Now, with all the scaling out of the way, when you put these two together, Gogeta should win this fight pretty handily. His universal feats just far outscale Broly's, and with multiple statements calling Gogeta the strongest or comparing him to Vegito, who is the pinnacle of power in Dragon Ball, Broly stands no chance, making this fight not even close. For everyone who have made it to the end of the video and walked with me on this journey, I thank you. You're an irreplaceable fan that I'd like to be a part of the main Majin Bird family, and I implore you to join the Dragon Ball HQ Discord server in the description. Here I'd like to garner a core fan base of Dragon Ball fans where we can celebrate and discuss the miracle that is Dragon Ball. Thank you.